Welcome to Get Shirty, the podcast where we ask our guests about the things in life that just never fail to irritate and get them all shirty. The chat focuses on home, work and going out, but could go anywhere. And it's not all doom and gloom, as each guest gets a made-to-measure shirt which they design, so we talk about that too. Funny that, us being tailors. It's new episode time, and our guest is someone who everybody knows is actually much taller in real life. Yes, it's Alex Horne. We spent a really enjoyable afternoon with the man often described by the Taskmaster as Little Alex Horne. I know you're doing the voice in your head. Alex is not only the Taskmaster's assistant, but also the creator of Taskmaster, an author, a comedian extraordinaire, and the singer and band leader of the Horne Section, who do a podcast and a TV show, and are currently on tour across the UK until the end of the year. Do get your tickets if you haven't yet. Of course, we discussed Taskmaster, we aren't mad, but we also discussed becoming the oldest person in the world. We met Alex's dog, and fish finger sandwiches even get another mention. I'm not obsessed, I promise. This was also our first podcast away from the shop, so that was fun. So here we go. One guest, two mics, three tailors, and a host of irritations. Let's get shirty. Alex, welcome to the Get Shirty podcast.
Thank you, Stuart.
It's my pleasure. It's lovely to be here and for taking up your time and not even in the shop. This is our first podcast away.
Is it your first one? I didn't realise that.
Away from the shop.
Well, I'm honoured you came all the way out here.
It was a
road trip.
Yeah, I know. It was a nice road trip, but they wouldn't let me buy any sweets for the journey.
No, Sam wouldn't let you buy.
I'm so sorry, Stuart.
Yeah, but I do know you've had a fish finger sandwich.
I did have a fish finger sandwich. That's right. I wasn't the only one who ate. It wasn't just that. I didn't just sit and make them watch me eat,
No,
which is what
weird.
we do at the shop, obviously.
So why am I not in your shop? Is it because you've been nice to me? Because
We are, yes, you seemed quite busy.
Right.
And so with everybody, we sort of give the option of saying, well, look, if you can't get to us, we'll come to you. And
I feel like a diva now.
Well,
but
yeah.
I'm quite pleased.
as soon as we got the email, we went, he's a diva. This is going to be a difficult one. But no, it was, so we thought, why not?
Great.
You are the first road trip. We took a few pictures on the way up, and actually with the fish finger sandwich, not of the fish finger sandwich, but we took a few photos there.
Wow, so it's a whole experience for the listener.
It really is, yeah. It really will be.
And if there are no more road trip podcasts, I'll know that's my fault.
It will be you that has, essentially just killed that.
Yeah, okay,
that
good.
subsection.
Well, I'll
of
be
the-
listening
of the
curiously.
genre. Yeah, good. So today it's the Get Shirty podcast. So we talk about your shirt. We have just gone through quite speedily. Actually, you were very decisive.
I appreciate that. I enjoyed the process. I think I was slightly dreading that bit.
Oh yeah.
Because I've never done it before.
All right.
I just normally go to TK Maxx because then they're arranged into which size. You just know those are the only 6 shirts you can choose from. Only one of them's nice. I'll take that one home.
Yeah. Actually, there's something to be said for that. That sort of ease of shopping.
Yeah.
But that's what tailoring should be, though, I think.
Well, you made it easy because you held my hand through it, but it's a bit like building a house.
Can I let go of your hand now?
No, never. This is what we're always going to do now. But I could never build my own house because there's so many decisions to make. Door handles, windows, shape. Whereas, and there's sort of the same with the shirt. But you got me through some of the difficult back pleat sections.
Well, yeah. Well, which is the tricky part. But you did do very well.
Okay.
I know it's funny actually with tailoring. We didn't even look at suits or anything like that. But with a suit, when you've got an option to change anything, the temptation is to change everything.
Yeah.
But actually keep it simple and go with what works well for you. But
yeah, you were right. There's so many options. You didn't want to go for can I just have a plain white shirt?
Yeah,
that would seem a wasted opportunity.
We've had a number of those, haven't we?
Really?
No, I think it's 3.
Really? The plain white.
Plain white, I know. Whereas yours is not.
No, it's got. Am I allowed to say what it's got?
You feel free, yeah.
Well, we know it's got a couple of cars on it.
At least 2.
Yeah, one red, one blue.
Yes, very good. Yeah, good details. A hint of a surfboard.
A hint of a surfboard. Yeah.
Leafy palms.
Yes, and we've gone for a red triangle detail on the just above the hip. What is that? Where is that bit? The flank?
Yeah, so it's like the hem of the shirt. Yeah, but we will call it the flank from now on.
Yeah, on my flank.
The shirt flank.
The triangle flank.
The triangle flank. Yeah.
And inside the cuffs as well, we've got some colour. Is that right?
Yeah, inside the cuff. Yeah. So we've picked out some accent colours from the pattern of the shirt.
Burgundy. Good.
Burgundy. Yeah, very nice. It's gonna look nice actually.
I'll wear it. I'll wear it somewhere, like if I have to go on the chase or something, and then you can spot me.
Yeah, well, hey, that'd be great. You've done the chase a couple of times actually.
Yeah, yet to make any money for charity.
Oh.
So that's one of those shows where you potentially could win £100,000 for charity in the last round, but in fact I've lost £100,000 for charity.
Oh.
It's awful.
Oh yeah.
You feel very sad afterwards, but yeah.
It's I can imagine it's the sort of thing where you take on the responsibility. You feel like it's rather than whatever you leave with.
Yeah, it's all or nothing with that one. And the chasers are they show no mercy in that. And I know some of the chasers because like Paul Sinno's done my show.
Oh, of course he has, yeah.
And so he takes you down, even though he's the one who's stealing the money for charity, really.
Yeah. So is it all going straight in his pocket?
Yeah. Well, no, I don't know where it goes.
That's right.
Straight to Bradley Walsh, I think.
Yeah, probably. Highest paid chap on TV. So I heard somewhere. Yeah.
I do think he's very good.
Yeah. Are you watching Gladiators?
I've watched one episode of Gladiators. I did sit my kids down because it's very hard to find a programme to watch as a family.
Yeah.
But they were less into it than I was at their age. But I think that's the TikTok generation. They can't concentrate.
Yeah.
But they also, actually, to give them credit, they did prefer to be outside pretending to be gladiators than inside watching them.
Oh, that is pretty good. That's pretty good. I have to say I'm enjoying Gladiators probably more than I should.
Okay.
But, the embarrassing thing is, I was saying, yeah, but when I was growing up, I watched the Gladiators and I really enjoyed it. And then I looked up the dates that the first Gladiators went out, and I was 20. So I was probably older than I should have been.
Yeah. It's just great you're on the throne. It's really fun.
Does anybody sit in that?
No, because it's the worst. But it's the only place we could, because it doesn't face the telly. Yeah. No, I like that you're sitting on. No, not in any way.
You need to share this with me.
We'll be driving back, and I'll go, Stu, you sat in the throne, and he'll be like, I know. What was I thinking?
No, people do, but not very often. Just because we've got another room where this is kind of the grown-up telly room.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
But it suits you, Stu. It does. You're pulling it off well.
It's the first time I've done any sort of sound engineering from a throne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that.
That's not me heavy breathing.
Apologies for the dog.
That's all right. It's nice. This is another first. It's the first podcast dog.
Yeah, it's not her first podcast. She's been on quite a few.
Right. Is this your favourite one though?
Oh, this is her favourite one. She didn't get this much attention normally.
Yeah.
Completely naked, the dog.
Yeah. Phew.
She has got an outfit. She's got a Cheshire United kit. So we go to the Cheshire United quite often. That's our local team. And they sell dog outfits, home knitted by the bloke who works in the shop's mum.
Oh, really? And how's that going? Because I know you're sort of involved with the club, aren't you?
It's going well. So I'm a director of the club, and they're top of the league, which is great. But tailoring-wise, I don't want to always bring it back to tailoring. Please do. But I didn't realise that on FA Cup day, you have to wear a tie and a suit. Right. And I got turned away from the director's box.
Did
so
you?
I wasn't well dressed enough. And I quite like traditions like that. And I was watching, there was an old footage of Chelsea Leeds FA Cup final in 1970, I think, and everyone in the crowd wearing a tie.
The whole thing.
Yeah, like going to the theatre now. People don't dress up. And
no, that very much used to be a thing, didn't it? It's funny with having a tailoring business. There is still a certain section of the public which still do that tradition. We get quite a lot of like fathers bringing in their son saying, right now it's your turn to get a tailored suit, and not as much as we used to, but we do get some of that tradition.
So weddings, horse racing?
Yeah. We don't get too much where we are actually horse racing. Weddings for sure. We've done a few for the Palace, going to the Palace.
Good.
A couple for the BAFTAs.
Lovely.
We've done.
Well, that's interesting, yeah, because I have been to the BAFTAs and...
Won a BAFTA?
I have won a BAFTA.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Don't be
mentioning
modest.
that.
That's all right.
But I think I've thought, I should get a suit made for this, because you see somebody else and think, looks
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Whereas I've got my Marks and Spencers or TK Maxx one.
Yeah. Well,
I'll come and talk to you again.
Yeah, do.
If it ever happens again.
Well, I'm sure it will. Yeah, that was so that was for Taskmaster.
Yeah. But it was a bit like, so I am a football fan. So Liverpool won the league during lockdown, and we won our BAFTA during lockdown. So we didn't get to go to the ceremony. It was all over Zoom, which was quite nice in a way, because we all watched it in the living room with the kids, and then had a sort of party here, but just the family.
Yeah.
Whereas if we'd gone to London, the kids wouldn't have been there. So it was nice in a way, but you didn't have the big party.
So shirt's done.
Done.
And so let's look at.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
How long does it take to make a shirt?
Well, it depends how quickly someone needs it.
Right.
But
it's not an emergency.
Yeah, phew. No, so we're with our shirt makers. Generally, we're around about 6 weeks.
Well, you measured me very thoroughly. You measured my elbows,
We did.
which I wasn't expecting.
Yeah. Well, it's nobody expects the elbow measure. Yeah, it's there's all sorts of strange measures that we didn't have to do. But we'll keep those to ourselves.
You didn't seem impressed or moved by any of my measurements. There wasn't one where you went, "Ooh, 42."
Yeah. No. Well, no, but
I was hoping for some reaction.
Oh, were you?
Yeah,
you
something.
preempted quite a lot of them by saying, "I'm not this and I'm not that."
It's a fairly standard body, mine, I think. It's pretty unimpressive. It sort of does the job.
What I like is your confidence in it, though.
I'm perfectly happy with it.
But yeah.
I'm glad it's covered up.
Yeah. You're not,
It's mostly covered up.
So are we at the moment.
Yeah. Well, do you know, the bits during Taskmaster that we can sit at home and go, "Oh, poor Alex." Like when you have to do a thing where they seem to make you take your clothes off.
So I used to think, poor Alex. Now it goes through my head. I basically think, oh, my mother-in-law's going to see this.
Yeah.
She'll be cross. But I also know they're often the funniest bits.
Yeah.
And I think they wouldn't be funny if I had a sculpted body that I was keen to get out. Then there's a sort of theory in comedy that you shouldn't be attractive and a comedian.
Yeah.
It's one or the other.
Yeah.
In America, quite a lot of the comics are
buff.
Yeah, they're buff, and you don't need to be.
Yeah.
You don't need comedy if you're buff.
No.
It's much funnier if you're slightly sloppy. So I'm happy to take my clothes off for Taskmaster, but not in real life.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm not happy to take my clothes off. Really, ever.
Right.
But I have a Taskmaster question. Do you really eat anything?
Yeah.
But do you mind that, or is that just...
No, I'm very happy to eat anything. My dad hadn't got any taste buds, we've discovered. He doesn't notice anything that goes in. It's all just food, and I think I'm going that way.
Right.
So I can pretty much switch off my taste buds and just eat it. I don't really care.
I like... I like the way you give proper serious reviews. Oh, it's a bit this, and actually it's crunchy. You know?
Yeah. Oh, I take it very seriously. It was the very first series. Tim Key had to cook me a meal using ingredients starting with every letter of the alphabet, and that included dog food and quinoa.
Yeah.
And I didn't like the quinoa actually, but the dog food was fine. It was all right. He made his own pasta.
Dog food.
Yeah. So I think once you've eaten that, it's fair game.
Fair game. Yeah, it's that's fair comment. But yeah, some of them I do look and think.
It's amazing how squeamish some people are about food, but no, that's one of my strengths or weaknesses. I don't know. I've got no wine. I don't care about wheat. I don't care about wine. But you did bring nice biscuits, which I haven't started eating. I'm worried there might be. I might have one as a celebration at the end. Is that right?
Yeah, of course it is. Okay. Yeah. It's they are nice. It's a childhood favourite. Those.
I didn't know they were still in circulation. Toffee pops.
Toffee pops. Yeah, toffee pops. They are. Well, neither did I until the shop next door to our shop. There they were on the shelf. So I haven't seen those. Those and Viscount biscuits.
Taylor's and then biscuit shop next door.
Where it sells other things other than just biscuits.
What's on the other side?
There's a charity shop the other side. Our office, then the food shop.
And do you ever go to the charity shop and look at their suits?
Occasionally. Occasionally, yeah. We've in fact we did a Home Alone inspired window at Christmas, and we did get a couple of bits for the window for that.
Do you think charity shops, on the clothing, they should be a little description of the previous owner? And it should say dead or alive?
I think it should.
I think so.
I don't know whether they'd be able to do that. But
or just a name.
One previous owner, very careful, spilt some spaghetti down the front in 1994 or something.
I had a thing last night, and there was a girl there called Claire who was wearing a shirt, a sort of baseball jacket with the word Canada on it. She bought it in a charity shop in Canada, and then she was on the tube in London.
Right.
And the woman opposite her said, "Oh, I used to have a jacket just like that," and she was Canadian.
Right.
And they got talking, and it turned out it was her jacket.
No
Well, it was
way.
definitely the same charity shop in Toronto that she'd put it in 2
Right.
weeks before Claire had bought it.
Wow.
So this jacket had gone around the world and
Made its way
made
back.
its way back to its owner. Yeah,
That's
I like stories like
incredible.
that.
Yeah, I do. There's, it's when life sort of throws something back at you that's previously been put out as good. But you
And
must,
also when clothing isn't just throwaway as well, when it sort of
Yeah.
has a life beyond
yeah.
one owner.
Well, and that's it. Shoes is the latest thing. That's my son's on the hunt for as many nice shoes.
Yeah.
He's really loves his sort of smart clothes. And
Yeah, that generation, it's shoes rather than alcohol, isn't it?
Yeah, he loves. Well, he's 12, right? And the other day he said, "Well, I'd really like some nice shoes. Can we go around the charity shops in where we live?" I said, "Yeah, we can do if you like." See, but I've got thinking, well, he's not going to find anything. The very last shop we went in, his size, perfect,
Wow.
nice pair of Churches.
Wow,
And I don't know if you've
what
ever.
that is, but
Well, Churches shoes, they're about £900 a
oh
pair.
my word!
Yeah, and so there they were, £7.
In his size,
In
that's
his
a
size.
miracle.
Yeah, I know. And they're also my size. And I said, "No, of course, son. You can have these lovely shoes."
Wow,
But
so your
no.
child's the same size as you,
Yeah,
shoe-wise.
he's only 12. Yeah,
Wow.
I know.
Yeah, I'm still a bit above mine, but
Yeah.
Dave Gorman showing that. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking, he takes a pair of shoes or a jacket and tags it somehow.
Yeah.
yeah.
Follows it around the world. You can imagine him doing that.
Let's get shirty. Let's get to the point of getting shirty. We might have covered some of them already, actually. But so the other idea with this get shirty is to talk about the things in life that get us shirty. I didn't segue into that particularly well. That
I
would
thought it
get
was
me
all right.
shirty. Oh, well,
Oh,
thanks.
it's pretty good.
I'm still new to this. I'm
Yeah.
trying my best. But so we look at it from I realised the other day there's people out there who won't really know what I'm talking about. I call it the Mars bar effect, that work, rest and play.
That worked for me.
Yeah.
I
But
understand.
I'm older than you, but so, thanks for that.
That's all right.
But yeah, I realise anybody under sort of 35 isn't going to know what that means.
Work, rest and
probably.
play. Yeah, I don't know. We do a song in our tour show about the Mr. Muscle slogan.
Right.
I love the jobs you hate, which is 1994. And it turns out everyone knows that slogan still, kids
really?
as well. So I think slogans live on.
Yeah.
I think you're all right with work, rest and play.
Because it was a miles a day helps you work, rest and play.
Yeah,
wasn't
which
it? That was the
isn't
thing.
necessarily true, I don't think.
No. I would love to eat a Mars bar a day, but being
Yeah.
borderline diabetic, that's bad.
Yeah, I don't think it helps any of those three things, does it?
No.
Maybe rest. Well, not even that.
I don't know if you're flagging in the afternoon and you're
Yeah.
at work, maybe a Mars bar.
It should just be a Mars bar a day is nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is, have you seen that? What's the Dudley Moore film where he's an advertising exec and I think he has an accident, sort of.
I think
hits
someone's going to do some
himself-
Googling over
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
It's looking that way.
Hits himself on the head, and when he wakes up, he stops lying about what all the slogans are. So one of them is Volvo. They're boxy, but they're good. Is what he
Right,
comes
yeah.
up with. So that's that approach.
Yeah.
It works for me. But so we talk about work first in terms of what gets you shirty, and there could be many in your line of work, especially being the taskmaster's assistant.
Yeah,
Crazy people.
Crazy
people. Thank you, Stuart.
There you go.
I think you might have slightly picked the wrong guest because I'm very mild-mannered.
Yeah.
I don't often get shirty.
Not even not like the stuff round, because we talk about work, home and
Yeah.
going out.
Oh, I can think of some things, but
Yeah.
but in general,
You are very mild.
I mean, I'm also very lucky that I do really love
Well,
the job, and also I think I've got the best job in the job in that. So I used to be a runner in TV.
Right.
So the runners get paid the least, turn up first, leave last, work
Right.
hardest. So I have been through it, but now I'm at the stage where I can arrive last, leave first, and get a taxi here and there. So I'm sort of spoiled now. So
Yeah.
I've got less to complain about. But there are things. Also, I like the word shirty, and it's not getting angry.
No.
It's sort of, it's not even tetchy, is it? It's just
Niggly.
So
Yeah.
I would say maybe one below tetchy. And it's that sort of sits somewhere between irritated and tetchy.
What's that? John album.
Well, yeah.
One below text.
one below
One below tetchy, yeah.
Sounds like a Horne Section song, to be honest.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I mean, so we film outdoors half the time and indoors half the time. And I don't like the winter for filming because it gets dark too quick. It rains too much. So I do get a little bit shirty when it's the dark hours, but we're coming out of that at the moment, so I'm not shirty at the moment.
Yeah.
Actually, today's a beautiful day. We're filming on Thursday and it's looking good. So the weather can get me down.
Yeah.
But that's a bit boring.
How about when it takes, recently, trying to think, there was one of the outdoor tasks where there were all the dummies of you. And it took
the Champions of Champions, yeah.
Yes, and it took one person a long time to
That doesn't get me shirty. So during tasks, when it goes wrong, I love it. When it goes well, I love it.
Okay.
I don't get shirty with the contestants unless they, just occasionally, they get the better of me.
Right.
Or they find a way of doing something that I hadn't seen coming.
Yeah.
That annoys me.
So in the first series, where everybody waited before they said your time starts now, and they all gave themselves thinking time, you seem to crack down on that.
Oh, we're cracking down. Yeah, every series we start having to introduce more rules.
Right, okay.
I don't move the red, green, or you must stay the next line immediately.
Because there's always a loop. I suppose if they think hard.
Yeah, Richard Osman was the first person to find the loopholes. He sort of exposed the gaps in them. And to be honest, I do like it.
Yeah.
I do like it when there's a loophole. But yeah, I guess if all 5 comedians do something the same way, that's disappointing.
Right.
Because we sort of pride ourselves on the variety that these brains come up with, but that doesn't happen very often. I tell you what I also like, so this is not what you want to hear.
No, like it's very loosely based around. Really, tell us some fun things.
Well, in work life in general, I don't like choosing what to wear. So if I have to go on a chat show or a quiz, and you have to bring in options what to wear, I find that quite stressful. Okay. So what I like about Taskmaster is I've got a uniform. Yeah. It's a white shirt and black Marks and Spencer's suit. Yeah. Because they're disposable, and they do get ripped and they get muddy. So I liked it, and I've got horrible slip-on shoes. But I enjoy just never having to think about.
So were you a school uniform person? Did you like
all over school uniform? Yeah.
So you didn't like? Well, it wasn't called Mufti. I was going to say Mufti Day. We didn't call it Mufti Day. It was non-uniform day.
Yeah. So at our school, you could wear kind of whatever shoes you want, and even that was too much pressure because there were some shoes which weren't cool, and some which were, and I found that very difficult to deal with. I brought the wrong high-tech trainers once, and that was it. I think my elder brother wore the wrong colour socks once, and that was him done for school life. Never recover from that. So choosing an outfit, or I also don't like it if I brought I've got quite a lot of jumpers. I'm wearing one with a teddy bear on today. That's very nice. And when you wear a new one in, it's like when you have a haircut and you walk into school the next day and everyone shouts haircut at you. There's a lot of pressure when you're wearing a new item into work and everyone talks about it. Shoes get stamped on. Yeah, new shoes. Yeah. Ties get pulled. Yeah, peanut. Yeah, exactly. And this doesn't happen that often at Taskmaster. I don't get given a peanut too often. No, thankfully. Yeah, but you've had some shockers. Has there ever been a time where you've gone, no, actually, I don't want to do that? No, Rod Gilbert was the worst. He was the biggest bully. Yeah. But again, he's doing it for entertainment, and he found a really good loopholes around things, because there's one task where he had to tie a rope around himself. Yeah, he had to tie himself up. Right. But instead of tying himself up, he tied me up. Yeah. And basically won the task. So anytime something bad happens to me, the silver lining is that it's good for the program. Yeah. So. I think seeing you being born was that was a watch. I can give you a sneak preview of series 18. I get born again. Do you? There's a rebirth, Wow. I can't tell you who bears me, bore me, and why, but it's a whole new birth. It's not as graphic as Sally Phillips's one. Yeah, it's quite a pleasure to be born. Involved. Yeah, this has been my third birth. Yeah. So in the show, I've got married, I've had a baby, I've been born, I've been proposed to 5 times. So a lot happens. I haven't died yet. I've had 5 stag do's. Yeah. I think we might end with a death, probably. Right. When we eventually end, there'll be a funeral and a eulogy. Yeah. Well, hopefully that's going to be a long way off. Well, it's hard to think of the that's the thing. I think it must be very hard to keep thinking of tasks. That's not the problem. Right. I really enjoyed thinking of the tasks, and I think it's a bit like writing music or jokes that you're never going to run out. Right. Okay. I think because it's just infinite combinations of little things. Yeah. Yeah. But we potentially could run out of comedians. Right. Or comedians who want to do it. So we always try to have a household name in there.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're just filming series 18 now. So there's only so many household names who want to do the show.
Yeah.
But then more household names become newer people come through. So, yeah.
Yes, well, it's such a great format because it started. I'm sure you've gone over all of this before, so if I'm making you repeat loads of things,
that's
you've already
all
said, because it started at the Fringe, didn't it?
Yeah, most good things do, I think, in the world of comedy.
Was your first Fringe? I think I've read 2000. Is that?
Yeah, maybe even 99. I did a show with some students, and we got a half-star review.
Right, excellent.
In chortle.co.uk. It's the only review we got, and it's still up there, and it still rankles.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Never forgiven them. So I think I did go up in 99, which is when actually my wife and I got together as well. So I was more interested in her than the festival. And for every year from 2000 onwards till the kids were born.
Okay.
I love the Fringe.
Yeah.
And people say it's sort of not quite dying, but it's changed. It's more commercial, and it's the rents are so high. There's a bit of doom and gloom about Edinburgh at the moment, but there are other sort of growth shoots. What am I saying? Other signs of fresh shoots. I don't know what the phrase is.
I'm with you.
You know what I mean? There are.
Yeah, fresh shoots. That sounds
let's
right.
go with that. There's always new things happening there. There's the free Fringe where you don't have to pay, and the audience put money in a bucket afterwards, and I think that's where it's happening rather than the big commercial, huge names going up. That doesn't really help.
And it seemed I saw a comedian tweeted about how much the rent was to stay there to perform, and
but I would say that in my first 5 years going up, I never made money. That's sort of not the point. You're putting yourself in the shop window, but also you're just having a laugh, and being with like-minded people and coming up with stuff.
Yeah.
So Taskmaster was never meant to be a TV program. It's just meant to be a thing we did once, and it just happened to sort of work
and take off.
I think it's still an amazing place to just go up and experiment.
I've never been actually.
Yeah, you should go.
Yeah.
You do a tailoring show. I mean, there's so many shows there. There's a guy called George Egg who cooks live on stage whilst telling jokes, and you wouldn't get that anywhere else. You wouldn't get that.
No. I don't know if I could tailor and... Well, I was going to say, I don't know if I could tailor and tell jokes, but I don't know if I could tell jokes.
No.
That's tell jokes.
Well, that's true, actually.
Tailoring live. But you need to make shirts quicker than 6 weeks. You need to be a shirt at the end of the episode.
Well, we could put a fitting together for a jacket.
You get a lot of podcasts live nowadays. Measuring up.
Wow.
The measuring bit would be. I'd like to watch you measure.
Would you?
Greg, for example.
Yeah, that would be. That would be good. Well, feel free to put that to him, and we'll happily do it.
Okay.
Well, actually, we are speaking of. There's a Tunbridge Wells where we're from. There is a Fringe festival there, and we're going to do a live podcast.
There we go. This could be the start of something big.
It could. Well, it could be. Or it
the start of something
really
small.
Badly.
The end of something small. It could be the end of
could
something
be the
small.
end of something
tiny.
You never know, but we'll see. Yeah, so we're going to do that. It seemed like a good idea when I sort of approached them and said, "Hey, should we do this?" They said yes, and we went, "Way."
Well, you know what does make me shirty in the industry is money, I suppose.
Right.
Like, you should do stuff like that, and you should go to Edinburgh and do things.
Yeah.
But money always seems to be the problem.
Yeah.
So we do a podcast with a band, and there's 6 of us and a sound engineer. And, this is fairly unwieldy. 3 of you have had to drive quite a long way, bring equipment. And, we're the same. 6 of us coming from all different directions, meeting in the middle, and it takes so much. We're losing money every week, but we love it.
Yeah.
But we're constantly trying to work out a way of making it financially viable.
Yeah, it's very tricky. We're lucky in that the podcast isn't how we make our money. It's to drive the shop, really. So it's a nice sort of add-on for us. But if it had to be financially viable.
Yeah. Well, in comedy, you see so many people who are brilliant or have written these amazing scripts, but to get that script on screen, there are so many hurdles to get over. Yeah. So much red tape. So I guess that's what I like doing. I like the doing bit rather than the meetings and the pitching and all the hoops you've got to jump through.
So that's work, get shirties, and that's what actually you ended on. Yeah,
I got pretty shirty there, didn't I?
You did, yeah. You were tetchy.
I did get tetchy.
Actually, tetchy's a funny one because that's sort of irritable with other people.
Yeah.
So I don't think you weren't tetchy. I wasn't getting waves of irritation.
No.
So
no, it was quite short-lived as well, wasn't it? It was a flash. Yeah, I'm all right again now.
Yeah, you calmed down.
Yeah.
Your colour went back to normal.
Well, I looked at the toffee pops over there again.
Yeah,
That got me
just
through
thought
it.
You got a little treat.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm getting quite.
Yeah.
You have one now.
I don't want to. I want to look forward to it.
Yeah.
Once I've popped the toffee pops,
You can't stop.
That moment's
That's a
gone,
different
yeah.
thing. Work, rest, being at home. What are the things that you know? You don't have to name names. It's something I've said to everybody. If there's a particular person in the household that does a
Right.
particular thing,
Yeah.
dishwasher's come up more than once, hasn't it?
yeah, I don't mind the dishwasher. I find the dishwasher quite therapeutic.
Right.
We've now got a dishwasher. What I didn't used to like about it was the cutlery
Yeah.
section,
Okay.
because I was a big fan of putting all the forks together in one
Right.
area and the spoons
Right.
in one. And then I was told that they don't get clean that way because the forks. This is the sort of stuff you want in your podcast. isn't it?
It's exactly this. Yeah. So the forks will sit
They
in
will-
each other.
Yeah, but when you take them out, you just grab them in one hand.
Yeah.
But now we've got a third layer to our
Right.
dishwasher. We've
Right.
got plates, bowls, cups, then that little slidey, little shallow shelf at the top for.
Right.
And I'm enjoying that
Oh, yeah,
because
so
they
do
all
you-
lie down next to each other. They've got little
Right.
little
You
segments.
like the
Pick up and
yeah.
They don't, and also they can't touch each other because they're the little segments. So I'm enjoying the dishwasher.
Right.
I don't mind drying up either because that's
Okay.
a little bit of peace and quiet, and it means I'm not on my phone for a bit. The phone is the thing that winds me up,
Right. Okay.
and trying to every now and again I have this wave of thinking, oh my God, what am I doing to my children? You know, we've all tried to get our kids off phones, but
Yeah.
and they're meant to be limits, but I think they've worked out how to get around that.
Yeah.
And it's easier not to pester. So I've got to be a tougher parent at some point and get them off
Yeah.
the phones. But it's also get myself off my phone. So yeah, washing up gets me off my phone.
Yeah, well, that's good. It's phones aren't good. See, with me with dishwashers, I just like them loaded a particular way. So
Do you?
it sounds like you've got your system.
I've got a system, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes my wife puts saucepans in there,
Right. Okay.
and that
you don't.
doesn't it just sort of blows my mind that she thinks that you can do that. So I mean,
Oh, I thought you could. Can you?
well, no, I don't, whatever she says goes.
Yeah,
but I would never
obviously.
think of putting the saucepan.
Saucepan,
It's
yeah.
just out of the box thinking.
I think it's madness.
Yeah.
What, putting a saucepan in there?
Would you ever put like a pair of shoes in there? Like, why wouldn't you put a pair of shoes in there?
Because I think you'd ruin them.
Would you? But you could put them in the washing machine sometimes.
Trainers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
think they should.
Especially if you put them in one of those little special bags
Yeah.
for washing them.
But
I
I'm
don't
not.
think
I'm
a
always a
dishwasher
bit
would cut
confused
through.
by what the difference is between a dishwasher and a washing machine.
Once for clothes.
Yeah. But why can't the clothes go in the dishwasher? I get why cutlery, why
Well, they just
crockery.
sit there, don't they? They just sit
They need to go round and round, do they? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
It's good. Yeah.
Okay.
You can
Thanks,
cook
guys.
a-
You've cleared it up for me.
You can cook a fish in a dishwasher.
Can you cook a
Yeah,
fish in
you
a dishwasher?
could, yeah, yeah.
Should you?
I don't think you should, but you
Right,
can.
you can, okay.
There is enough heat and steam in a dishwasher to cook.
Wow. So it comes out
Steamed
clean
fish.
and cooked.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, I'll be doing that
Just as a
once Rachel leaves me finally.
yeah. Just as a quick aside, when we're talking about dishwashers, I saw something the other day which is a dishwasher. It got me shirty, or it was a moment of madness for sure. Have you seen the video of Sarah Beeny of the household TV fame?
Big fan of Sarah Beeny.
She's a very nice person. I was
Okay.
lucky enough to
But-
meet her once. She was very nice. What she does in her house, she has one drawer, and when the dishwasher's gone through, she takes the thing and just tips the whole thing
What,
in
with plates
one
and bowls?
No, just
Oh, the cutlery
just the
bit.
cutlery.
Just
she
tips
takes
them
the
in?
and just tips it into one drawer.
Wow.
And so they're all loose
Beeny, what are you doing?
in one drawer.
so
That's madness, surely.
That is extraordinary.
Yeah. I mean,
And we trust her.
we trust her with our household
Beeny.
investments.
Are
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
This could have been an AI deep fake.
No, well, it wasn't. Well, it might have been. We'll have to look that
I
up.
can't
don't think.
imagine.
Yeah. So she's just got a big drawer.
I mean, what's she doing with other aspects of her life if she's
don't
doing
know.
that? What's her sort of underwear drawer look like?
Well, just thrown in.
Surely socks are in a different drawer to
You would think so.
everything else.
Yeah. They've got to be
Well.
paired,
Yeah.
balled up.
Gotta be.
Yeah. Surely. It's got to be. And don't put those in the dishwasher. I mean, you could. Well, you could
I might
try
do.
it.
Might
Put
roll.
a fish in the top. Yeah. Could be done. So dishwasher's okay.
That's my
phones.
calm zone.
Right.
I'm not great. Just to bring it back to clothes for a second.
Yeah.
This winds me up. Shoelaces.
Right.
That I get irritated every time I put a pair of shoes on
Okay.
because it feels such a basic. I think we're beyond having to tie our shoes. I don't understand why we haven't embraced Velcro more, or zips on shoes.
Zips would be good.
I don't mind a buckle.
Yeah.
But the having to tie 2 little knots every time you put your shoes on, I feel like that's a waste of my time.
So, well, are you disciplined enough to undo the shoelaces when you take your shoes off, or
Depends
are
on
you
the
kick
shoes.
from the heel?
I would kick from the heels, and I know, I should be telling off my children for doing that. But they do it, and I'm all for them doing it. I think you're just wasting your life. You don't want to get to your deathbed and think, I spent 15% of my life tying my shoes up.
And have you worked that out?
It's about at least 15%. My shoes at the moment, I don't have many shoes.
Right.
I've basically got 2 pairs of shoes, but the laces are slightly too long, so I have to do a triple knot.
Ooh.
So not only am I tying them up, I'm then going to untie them.
Yeah, that's not.
That winds me up.
Where
12 years, you reckon?
Yeah.
If you get to your 80.
12 years of I'm not sure I've done quite the maths on that, but there's definitely a year of my life, I reckon.
Yeah, well, we'll send you something. You can get sort of self-tying shoelaces.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
which are,
please.
have you seen these? They've got like a telephone cord type twirl on each end.
Oh, okay.
So you
Do
just...
they look good? It doesn't matter.
Well, they look interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be interested in that.
Yeah, and you just throw one bit over the other and they sort of tangle up.
Do they work?
I'm going to say yes.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to hear no.
Well, I think take from that, I've never tried them myself.
Okay.
I've seen them. Yeah.
But I think it's when you sort of... Because I go through busy patches in my life where I am very busy, and at the moment it is, and I even got slightly cross this morning that I had to go to the toilet.
All right.
I sort of think there must be a better system than having to go to the toilet 5 times a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would just do it once a week for 40 minutes.
I mean, sure. You could probably get other things done in that 40 minutes as well.
Well, you know where it is.
Do all your life admin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it on
I'll
Sunday
be
morning.
in there for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the interruptions I don't like.
Well, yeah, and they always come at slightly the wrong time.
Yeah. I'm fine at the moment, by the way. That wasn't
Good.
a hint.
Yeah. And the 40 minutes start now.
Yeah.
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 I don't think you've got a solution for me for that, have you? You haven't got a Twizzly thing.
I've got no solution for that.
No.
But I don't think I'd like the thought of
Just
carrying
stacking up.
carrying that much waste around in me all week.
But imagine the relief.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be lucky if I can sort of leave 40 minutes in between, let alone go for 40
You're
minutes.
not. That's backward thinking. Because I think like camels do. It's other animals do it.
That's
I think
true.
it's just mindset.
Or evolution.
Yeah.
Evolution. Maybe if we
Mindset,
try hard
evolution,
enough.
and dehydration.
Yeah. Well, look, I'll try it.
Okay.
I could change the course of human.
Well, actually, this
behaviour.
one of the things I was going to talk to you about actually was what was going to the
serious.
toilet. No, it did sound serious, but you many years ago did a thing on Twitter where you were trying to become the
Oldest man in the world. Ongoing attempt.
Well, and you seem to be doing very well.
Yeah, I've gone up quite a few places since I started.
All right.
So when I was born, I was the worst person in the world at being the oldest person in the world.
Yeah.
I was the youngest person in the world, briefly,
Yeah.
until that title was snatched from me.
Yeah. Damn it.
But yeah, no, I still think I'm on track.
Yeah.
I actually got sponsored by Innocent Smoothies to be the oldest man in the world for a year. They paid me a wage to be healthy and not die, and I didn't die. And I was hoping this was going to go on for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
But they sort of saw that they're going to lose quite a lot of money here.
Well, the thing is, back in, because that was 2010.
Was it?
I think
Oh,
it
this
was
is good to know.
2010. Yeah.
Right.
And the reason I know that is because that was the first time we ever had any interaction.
Is that right, Stuart?
It is. So there are 3 or 4 we tweeted back and forth.
Right.
And I am one of the people that you are following on that.
Wow. See, I'm off Twitter at the moment because I got hacked about 3 weeks ago, and I'm still not back on. And actually, I'm quite enjoying the piece.
Yeah.
It's like a holiday. But it's nice to still be in touch with you.
14 years later, we've finally met in person.
But you are one of my nemeses, being older than me.
Well, that's
So
true. Actually.
one way of becoming the oldest person in the world is to kill everyone older than you.
Yeah.
It's the extreme method.
Yeah, well, it is quite extreme. Will we be allowed to leave today?
No, at the moment,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're all right.
no offence to you, I don't see you as an imminent threat.
No, it's due to the general look of ill health.
Well, I think probably women are more of a problem because it's oldest person in the world rather than oldest man in the world. So I don't know how I'm going to get through this. But men don't.
Older.
Oh,
So you are a problem,
You should-
Sam.
you shouldn't have Googled.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, no, I don't know if I will. I'm confident. I'll get to the top 10, I reckon.
Yeah.
But that little bit, when there's going
That
to be an old woman in France who's older than me,
Yeah.
and that'll be really annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it will, but look, we're here to support you.
Thank you.
We've had your back since.
Well, every
since
funeral
the
we go
beginning.
to, there's a silver lining of
Yes.
going, there's another one gone.
Yeah. I'm that little bit higher up the ladder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to be the oldest person in, bit by bit, like the oldest person in the town, then the oldest person in the county. And country.
Slowly,
Yeah.
sort of take over the world that way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I've never been the best at anything.
Right.
But if I could be the best at being the oldest.
But surely now you're the best taskmaster's assistant. Surely.
Well, no, probably not, because now it happens in other countries, and I quite often get told that the one in New Zealand's actually funnier, or the one in Sweden's more efficient.
Who would tell you such a thing?
People tell you things.
Do they?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I go looking.
Right.
That's the problem.
Never
Yeah.
go looking.
There's
Never
something
go
called
looking.
Reddit, which people send me things, and then you go down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, arguably I'm not the best assistant.
Right.
I'm definitely not the best looking, and I'm definitely not the best dressed either. The one in
Right.
Sweden's got a little moustache and a bow tie.
Wow.
You love him.
How many countries?
Created it, though, so-
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So how many countries is it in now? Do you know?
I don't know. I think there's about 8 or 9 that make their own. They're the
Right,
ones I
okay.
really like. They're
Yeah.
sort of self
Yeah.
governing. And the Swedish one is much bigger than ours. In their country, it's Saturday night sort of glitzy entertainment
Right. Okay.
format.
Yeah.
So it's much bigger there, which is extraordinary. I was in Portugal recently in a bar and didn't realise it was on there, and suddenly
Right.
looked up, and so it's a similar set than ours.
Right, okay.
They're both on thrones, but I didn't I didn't know what the task, didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
But that was very surreal. So it's that's a constant source of
Yeah.
amazement and enjoyment. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Oh, it's such a great format, and it's constantly enjoyable. It never stops. Even
that's
though
good
it's the
to hear.
same format, it remains fresh every time you get new people in.
Well, that's
and the
it's
tasks
new people, and we never repeat something. That's probably
Yeah.
the key. But it does mean it's a bit of a nightmare for us. It'd be much easier.
Right.
You watch something like, what's the one with Ben Shepherd where the money?
Tipping
Point. You think that's one task,
Yeah,
but they've made
yeah.
it last that's the whole show. Have they done that?
Have you ever thought about doing a greatest hits where you bring redo tasks, but
You know what? It's been suggested,
Right.
and I think we're just resistant to it because once you've sort of broken the seal, someone found a way of doing it. I think it would be disappointing. And actually, we're doing something at the moment. We're trying to do a Taskmaster live experience.
Right.
Like there's a Crystal Maze one where you can go and do the Crystal Maze, which I love. And Taskmaster's kind of right for it.
Yeah,
And we had
yeah.
lots of conversations. When you go into the house, would you want to do tasks that you've seen on the telly, or new ones? And I think it has to be new ones because otherwise, it just that sense
There's
of
a
deja
solution.
vu, or you've seen how
Yeah,
someone else
yeah.
has done it. So it's a challenge every time, but we want it to be fresh.
yeah,
So,
that's a great idea.
I think it's going to happen.
Oh, brilliant.
But we'll no concrete news. It's that word money again.
Yeah.
You have to put a bit of a risk
Yeah.
into it, but I think it'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it'd be good too. I'll
thanks,
definitely
you.
go for that. Brings us round actually to going out.
Oh, this
has
has worked very nicely.
It has.
What a good segue.
It played right into my hand.
Yeah.
So going out. Where are your Get Shirties going out?
I mean, part of it is just leaving the house. I get shirty just leaving the house. I do really like being in the house.
Yeah.
Because work's quite varied. I get quite a lot of my kicks at work, I suppose.
Yeah.
And there's quite a lot of perks to the job, and there's some travel and.
Yeah.
I've got stuff with the band, so that I feel like I've got my nightlife as part of the work.
Yeah.
So I find going out quite tiring.
Right.
I like going to the pub.
Okay.
I like going for a dog walk. I like
Yeah.
going to watch the local football team. Whereas I find going to a shopping centre or a museum so inordinately tiring.
Right.
I feel like climbing a mountain is less tiring
Right.
than doing Christmas shopping in a shopping centre.
Oh yeah.
Like an hour of it, you feel like you've run a marathon.
Yeah.
It's so weirdly tiring.
Yeah. Well, is yours added to by a
Children.
constant? Well, I wasn't going to say. I was going to say other people going. There's Alex.
There's a bit of that. I mean, I'm quite frail ego-wise, so I like being spotted.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, is that where you wear that giant hat and the big sign that says?
No, people are very polite. Generally, I
Yeah.
think because the people who like the show tend to be quite nerdish.
Yeah,
my sort of people. So no, I don't get hassled at all.
Right.
And genuinely, if I don't get spotted, if no one makes eye contact, I think,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
normal,
was I
but-
wearing my mask again today? Yeah.
No, that's not a problem. It's just I just find it exhausting.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of into internet shopping, which is also depressing because I like the high street and
Yeah.
and music. I feel like I should be more cultured than I am.
Right.
But I get very bored in an art gallery.
Yeah.
I like the first room, and then I'm gone.
See, yeah.
So I think I'm disappointed by myself rather than the place. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the gift shop. I would go straight to the gift shop.
Gift shop's good.
Yeah.
See, for me, it's like galleries, pictures with faces. So the portrait gallery is more interesting than the
Landscape. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Do you read the cards?
No.
No.
No. I mean, maybe if the picture, if I think, oh, I like that, I'd like to see more of what they've done.
Right.
Then maybe.
How long can you look at a picture for?
Oh, not long.
No.
Not long.
I'm getting through that gallery quick.
Yeah. I
There it
like
is.
the ones where if you go up close, you see something like the pointillism stuff.
Magic eyes.
No, I can't do those.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't
I'd
do
go to a
those.
gallery which is just magic eyes.
Can you do those?
I can do
can't
them.
do it. It's when people are going, oh, look, a dolphin. I'm going, no, I don't know what that is at all.
Yeah, it's always
I
a
can't do
dolphin.
those. But it is always a dolphin or some other tribal tattoo.
Yeah.
Generally, they're the two things. But no, like where it's made up of lots of little dots.
Yeah.
Or there's textures to it. I quite like that.
Or when they make a face out of other people's faces, do you like that?
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the other? Lots of little portraits.
faces. Yeah, I quite like them.
Yeah, they're all right. I don't mind them. I don't know. This is taking a turn I wasn't expecting.
Abstract for me is abstract art.
Is it? Yeah.
Do you?
Abstract.
Yeah, I quite like an event art thing, like Bodyworks. Did you see that one where it was Gunter and somebody where it was all dead bodies sort of put into different positions? I'm
Yeah, that's
quite into
pretty
that, it turns out.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty. Yeah, and I did the Anthony Gormley one. That was pretty
Yeah,
good.
actually, I think I like physical.
Yeah, the cloud
three-dimensional one.
It wasn't called a cloud in a box. Can't remember what it was
Right.
called, but you sort of walked into a giant perspex box, and within you took one step in and you couldn't see anything
Right.
at all. That was a bit weird.
I went to one which was very, very lifelike sculptures, but I can't remember the artist, and I really like that.
Right? Were they
They were oversized. Some of them.
Yes, very
Oh,
good.
yeah, Mercs.
Yeah.
And he does tiny ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Massive scale.
I
Yeah,
like
they were
that
good.
one.
Brilliant.
Yeah. But I feel like that's, I don't know if that's good art or not. I guess it's, again, a bit like my taste buds. I don't have very refined senses of taste or sight or smell.
But isn't that fun? But so you have no senses.
Not really. I mean, I like what I like,
Like,
but I would
but
happily
that's-
have a fish finger sandwich or a 7-course tasting menu. It's all kind of,
Would you? Yeah.
I like it all.
Yeah. Yeah, which is just everything.
I think I like everything.
Yeah. Well, and look, hey, if you like everything, then there's little chance of being disappointed.
Yeah, well, same
is
with
there?
cars as well. I can't get into like I like all. I mean, they get you from A to B. I can't get excited by a car.
Yeah.
Except I also quite like all cars.
Yeah.
Quite like little ones. Quite like big ones.
The little ones, eh? Do you know, I prefer a little car,
Do you?
actually.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, they're easier to park. That's what I like.
Have you found the name of the artist?
Yeah, Ron Merck.
Oh, well done for getting that.
Mueck.
But yeah, I think in general going out, I get disappointed with how tired I get, how quickly.
Right.
I don't like going to the theatre. I find that
Right.
quite testing,
Okay.
unless it's really good. But I'm quite often just sat there going, "Wow, you're just pretending."
Yeah. Well, that's one of those things. I mean, there is that moment where you've got to suspend. You've got to sort of go to where they are, and I think I find that quite difficult when something, like if someone's rustling. I find that at the cinema. If there's a noise that takes me out of that moment, then I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
I'm distracted.
Although I'm a fan of the cinema because of the no phone thing again. Because if I'm
Right.
watching a film here, I get tempted to look at something. So.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, no. In general, I think my general shirtiness happens more in my times when I should be happy.
Right.
The times when I should be at leisure is when I get shirty.
Right.
The time when I'm at work, I'm most happy.
Right. So it's the time when you're sort of, I was going to say, sort of having to manage your own time a little bit, where you haven't got those things
Yeah.
which you've got to do, and where
I think I might be a workaholic. Maybe that's the problem.
perhaps that's what it is.
Yeah, I'm not very good at. First 2 days on a holiday, I'm bad.
Right.
With the family as well, we're all a bit sort of tetchy until
Yeah,
we settle
yeah.
into a routine. But it takes a little while to adjust.
And do you have a routine? I imagine because you're filming quite a lot places, do you have that sort of routine where it's filming days, I'm there at 9 and I'm home
Yeah,
at
it's not
5,
too
or is
bad.
it-
I never work weekends anymore. So I used to be being a
right.
comedian. It used to be always Friday, Saturday, Sundays,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is no good for family life. So we've made a rule, I mean, very rarely anyway.
Yeah.
Although I am working this Saturday, but most weekends are sacred, which is great. Yeah, and I'm lucky to sort of have a day job. Most comics don't, but Taskmaster is quite all-consuming, which is good.
Yeah. So when you're filming, is it all filmed over the course of 1 week? Then,
Well,
the series, or
probably
split
3
it
days
up?
a week. 3 days a week,
Right.
and the other 2 are sort of prepping for that.
Right. Okay. And how many of the tasks do you do yourself?
To test.
Yeah.
I sort of don't do any, so it's half done on judgment and sort of feel, instinct.
Right, okay.
You sort of know, oh, that'll work.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the other half you have to tinker with a bit if it involves props and
Yeah.
how long something should last. So there's a bit of testing, but I tend to not do. We've got a team. We've got
Well, in the early days, was it always a team, or did you have to sort of?
Well, when I say team, it's sort of 3 people who
Right.
they're researchers on the show or runners or producers. But the very first series, Phil Wang was brought in to test things
Oh, really?
before he was
Actually,
a bigger
on the
name than he
show.
is. Yeah, so he was a
right,
comedian. So
okay.
we got him to test stuff. But we realised very quickly there's kind of no point if it was something like do the most impressive thing with a potato.
Yeah.
There's no point getting someone to test it because there's 5 comedians will do it in a completely different way. So yeah, we don't really test vigorously.
No.
We're not like a
No.
factory testing rubber bands. I went to a balloon. Sorry, this is not
no,
loud.
please.
I went to a balloon factory
Right.
on Monday.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No.
I've never
Carry
told
on.
anyone this. There's a balloon
Right.
factory in Chesham called B. Looney.
Right.
It's one of Chesham's. Chesham used to make beer. I can't remember. 4 Bs. I think
Right. Beer balloons.
it's balloons wasn't one of the 4,
right.
but it is now.
Bread.
No,
Beeswax.
bats. I think you might need to
Well,
do
like-
some more googling. Do you mind googling what the 4 Bs were made in Chesham? I can't think of any of them.
Like Mark Watson now, doesn't he?
Yeah. What 4 things are made in Chesham begin with B? This is awful, that. It might not be B. Anyway, they now make balloons.
Right.
And if you print something on a balloon, I couldn't believe this. You have to inflate the balloon to then
Right.
print on it, and then it goes small again. So they've got this machine which inflates a balloon,
Right.
and then they print on it, and then it goes round, and then it deflates it again.
Wow.
So you've got this special balloon. Anyway.
Like a
I think
reverse shrinky dinky.
I suppose so, yeah.
Yeah. There's that'll age.
Yeah,
That ages me.
Yeah, that's something that neither of us understand the reference of.
Oh, do you not either?
No, what's a reverse shrinky dinky?
Well, a shrinky dinky was a thing that start off big, but the end product was small. So you'd
Right.
heat them in the oven. You'd colour them in.
That.
You'd colour them in, cut them out, put them in the oven, then
And they
they'd
could
shrink
shrink a
to
shrinky-dinky.
like a key ring.
Right.
I thought, oh, there you go. Look, that aged me.
Yeah, but anyway,
Forget the shrinky
I
dinky,
think
move on.
if I didn't do Taskmaster, I think I'd happily work in a balloon factory. It was really fun, and occasionally
Yeah.
they pop,
Right.
so everyone's on edge.
Right. So how big do they have to?
Not that big, sort of
Right,
6
okay.
inches,
Right.
I'd
Okay.
say. But I really enjoyed going to a balloon factory.
Sorry.
I don't know, maybe that's big.
It won't be.
Yeah.
For a balloon, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know enough about balloons.
But it did perk me up actually, and I think I enjoyed going to a balloon factory much more than going to the theatre or an art gallery.
Right.
I'd happily go to a factory.
All right. Perhaps that's why Greg Wallace always looks so chirpy.
It does look chirpy.
Guys.
We've got news on what 4Bs are made in
Use the
Chesham.
4 Bs, boots,
Boots,
beer,
beer,
brushes,
brushes.
and Baptists.
Baptists.
Baptist. We said that on the. Yeah.
I only got beer out of them. That's disappointing.
Because it's very historical, so Stu tells me.
Chesham,
Yeah.
historical market town. Yeah,
Goes back a long way.
yeah.
It's a 4,000, 8,000 BC,
Wow.
apparently.
Well, I did know that. There's a
Artifact in
I've got a picture of the Queen Ethelred or someone over there who
All right.
was apparently
Yeah.
buried here. Yeah, and the football team are called the Generals because of the General Baptist Church here. This
Right.
is pretty dry stuff, isn't it?
Well, it is, but that probably worries you more than it does us. You know, I like finding out all the little things. We're
Yeah, it's
quite
good to know about
geeky.
your town. So we moved here 20 years ago and really sort of embedded ourselves here, and this will
Right.
be it now, I think.
Yeah.
It's a good size. It's manageable, Chesham.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
probably not. It's probably a bit smaller than Tunbridge Wells, is it? Or
Well,
maybe it's
Tunbridge
similar?
Wells isn't.
Quite sprawling, isn't it?
Yeah, it's sort of the town itself's probably bigger. The trouble is, we drove in, had a fish finger sandwich, drove here, so I can tell you about the fish finger sandwiches.
I know all about
and
the fish
one
finger
little
sandwich.
bit.
I imagine you were served by some waiters who all wear check shirts in the tavern and little aprons, or not? No.
There was definitely little aprons.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I like a cafe which is relaxed, but you know who the serving staff are because they've got a look, not necessarily a uniform, but they've got they've thought about it.
Yeah,
I do like that.
Yeah, this is me.
Yeah,
you can. Yeah,
because otherwise, I'm always worried about asking the wrong person for the bill.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I did a meerkat apparently.
Did you?
When I was in there? Yeah.
Did it work?
Not immediately. I had to sort of.
Yeah. An unfulfilled meerkat is not good.
Oh, it's very sad.
Yeah.
We nearly just turned the car around and went home. I was distraught. But yeah, no, it's not good. But yeah, it was very nice fish finger sandwich. And fish finger sandwiches have come up before as well. With Adam Buxton. Yeah.
Oh, really?
And I went with tartar sauce, and he never has gone with tartar sauce.
I'm always a fan of tartar sauce, but I don't understand why it's only with fish. I would have it with other things.
With everything.
Yeah. But you don't get the option often.
No, you could just carry it around your own jar.
Yeah, I quite like chunky tartar sauce anyway. Yeah.
Good.
Adam Buxton used to do the Mary Rose sauce.
Really? Yeah, I can imagine
yeah.
Buxton doing.
Ketchup and
Yeah,
and he's never gone with. I said rocket in a fish finger sandwich as well.
Yeah, I'd go rocket.
Yeah, but he was like,
no.
And he said he wasn't Jamie Oliver.
A bit poncy.
That's not the sort of thing he'd do. But there you go. So, from a point of Git Shirty, where I think we're, I can't think of anything else to say.
Like we've
you've got
about
sort of desperate sort of things that you thought, this is my opportunity to get it off my chest.
Get some stuff off my chest.
You forgot the hat.
Oh no, I wasn't going to mention the hat.
What's the hat? Oh, you have to mention it now.
Yeah. I wasn't going to mention it because we couldn't do it.
Is there a physical hat that you normally bring? This is why you don't do on the road podcast.
This is why, perhaps we should have done a test on the road beforehand. So,
I mean, I've got hats. What it is, you see, after the first couple of things, we did an off the cuff. We started going, let's do an off the cuff Git Shirty, where you get given a something, and then you have to say if there was anything about it that made you shirty. But because the name worked, it's off the cuff. It's a great name.
But then we couldn't think of how to deliver that. Yeah. So we just put all the things in a bowler hat. So you then picked. So you picked the thing out of a hat.
Because you can't pick it off the cuff.
No, but as Adam Buxton pointed out, you could attach them to a cuff of a shirt, and then you just pull one off the cuff. Yeah. But then we thought, we could do that. But then we thought, no, we'll stick with the hat because then it becomes the legend of the off the cuff.
In the hat.
But we forgot.
Quite confusing.
We forgot the hat.
I mean, I think you should embrace more of the parts of the shirt. A section where you collar them, or where you hem them in, or at the end you say, "Now you've got to button it." But I think you should really go more involved. The tail end. That's nice. Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to introduce the flank section now. Now that you've renamed the shirt. Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Well, I'm sorry about the hat bit, but I think we have discussed everything in the world, haven't we? There's not much we've not touched on.
Well, I think, from every detail, I think. So.
Yeah, we've not done a lot on politics and religion, but I'm all right with that.
Yeah, and it's we don't tend to take it down that route unless someone's desperate.
Tony.
Yeah, Tony did actually. Yeah, he did a little bit. He sort of
Blair, is it?
Yeah, he's very big in the Git Shirty. What's your irritations? Like, no, Tony Rod from MasterChef.
That Tony.
That Tony, yeah. He sort of went quite.
Right.
He got quite sort of.
Well, that's where I think I'm not clever enough or engaged enough to get shirty about politics. I know I should. No. But I can't be bothered.
No, that's all right. So look, on that note, we'll say thank you very much for your time.
Perfect.
Alex. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
You too. Thank you, Stuart and Sam.
What a lovely chap Alex is, and so generous with his time as well. We have to say thank you for him letting the rabble that is the Git Shirty podcast into his lovely home. We did reward him with a couple of packs of toffee pop biscuits for his trouble, so it can't be all bad. Thanks for being such a great guest, Alex. If you are looking for tickets for the Horne Section tour, do nip to their website. You'll find all their dates and booking details on there. There will be a link in the description for the podcast as usual. Thank you, as always, to Dat Hazza for the music for the podcast. Thanks also to Stuart Wilson for editing and production. And to Sam, as always, for keeping us dotting the I's and crossing the T's. Until next time, do try not to get too shirty.